Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahliel. In this incarnation, the moon has entered in Pisces, which is the sign preceding the one of the solar eclipse, and its passage through here could be moving a lot of emotions. Also, this movement of emotions is part of the eclipse too. So let's remember that Saturn, the North Node, and Neptune are still there. That tomorrow Venus retrograde, it is going to come back to Pisces, and it is going to create a union with Neptune. So I explained this many times. Pisces could represent chaos, confusion, this will of not being, disassociating of the terrestrial plane. But also, Pisces, it is this deep listening to ourselves in its light, learning to navigate the emotional waves, allowing us to go through them, but also letting go of them. So it is important to observe perhaps the what is beyond the mechanisms of evasion, confusion, or sadness, instead of judging them, because it is very probable that they are produced because of the inner dialogues in the face of the experiences that we are transiting, the attachment to perceptions that are creating a barrier to listen to our heart. And each one of us has their own process of dissolution of these perceptions. And suffering is the emotion that pushes us to let go of, but it still depends on us. So, with all the Piscean energy, it is also good to say that this could mean inspiration to channel what we are feeling and perceiving through creative forms. This could be connection and openness to revelations of our intuition that are, marking us the way, the path. Venus has this encounter with Neptune in Pisces for the second time of three in this opportunity while Venus is retrograde, and also Venus is going to meet the North Node and Saturn later. But the important thing with Neptune, it is that in the next phase, this is going to happen with Venus already direct and both of them in Aries. So in this phase, this could represent now I am getting what needs to come to an end. Now I am getting which inner states I need to cultivate, because they lead us to inhabit love. Love is already there in everything. It is our perceptions and programmings, the ones that are creating separation, and it is also a process to deal with that, to transcend that. Also, this could be linked with now I see this dynamic that is repeating, in this infinite loop, and that we need to stop to feed that, because it's creating imbalances, because it prevents us from making a space for growth and enjoyment too. Other expression of Venus retrograde with Neptune could be recognizing how inspired we are by a project, investing in making it more beautiful, or whatever practice that returns us to our center. Could be, writing, painting, singing, looking at the stars, watching the stars. It doesn't have to function for everyone. It only has to function for yourself. It is the way that we find to connect with our own soul. So this union could also be seen as I am really surrendering to trust in what I cannot control, to go through the uncertainty, to in order for life take us to where we need to go. In regarding dreams and desires of the soul, it is about trusting that the path itself, the way that is presenting, the way that is occurring, is showing us how to create vessel to receive light, because that is, manifestation. So it is also important to understand that everything that we are giving has a return. When we are giving, to not deal with ourselves, to run from what is hurting us, in order to seek for love, or to be needed, or to be valued only, without feeling that in alignment with our soul, probably we are not going to receive with reciprocity. We are not going to receive with reciprocity. And even the opposite. It is going to be reflected on selfishness. And also, when we are investing our energy in something that is not aligned with the primary sense of our soul, because a person that came here to ride could give it all to be an engineer, but if that person is ignoring his or her own voice, it is also being reflected on the outside. And even if the person can generate resources, it is not going to he or she, they are not going to feel satisfaction, which is an expression of Venus. The person is going to feel the void, emptiness, and it is also part of the path that we have to make changes, that we have to adopt new ways of creating in order to inhabit or to enable that reconnection. So that thing that the soul wants to express and to be, it is not only something that contributes to the person, that what inspires us inwards, and when we are also capable of sharing that, it is something that contributes to all of us. So when we are truly giving without expecting anything, because it comes from the heart, and we already can feel the plenitude of doing that, we feel that we are recharged through that thing, even if we are not obtaining something in return at that moment. In the right time will also be reflected on material reality, but we need to inhabit that paradox of not expecting something in return, just doing it because we are feeling it. So learning to give time, attention, resources, it is the same, because they are all forms of energy. It is greatly important, because this is not about giving more than we can. It is not giving without limit to people that cannot receive or appreciate. It is not also about helping to whom in a certain moment of their lives, they perhaps a person that needs to learn to help himself or herself to grow. It is not about saving that moment for the person. And the more that we are integrating this, that we can recognize from which places we are giving, we also learn to receive. That is as much as important as giving. And mostly in the cases that I have seen in my path, the people that were given too much, that gave too much, they used to set with too low, to accept crumbles many times, because there were a lot of imbalances regarding discernment. So correcting this is a way of inhabiting love in a purer way in our own lives, but also to transform its distortions on earth. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.